So here we have a vector field in Desmos 3D, and the question is how to create it. So what I did here was I let P, Q, and R be the components of the vector field here on the left. And then if you look down here, U, I made U be P of ABC, Q of ABC, R of ABC, 4, and then if I go over here, A is L, B is L, and C is L. That L comes from here, which is a series of numbers. You can change this to make more vectors if you want. And then this T of ABC gives an array in the plane, in the 3D. So if I take away the vector, you'll see that that's an array. All right. Now, basically, it's all of the possibilities that you get by making A, L, B, L, and C, L. So it's this huge matrix of points. Then I let U be the array that depends on P, Q, and R. So if I allow that, notice that they're the same right now because P, Q, and R are just X, Y, and Z. So they're basically the same points. Once I change one of them, I'll change P to 0. You'll see the difference. Now there's not as many of them. Now it only picks up the points where X is 0. I'll go ahead and make it look like this. See where X is 0. U is all the points where X is 0, and then Y and Z go through these numbers, -3, -2, -1, 0, and then the rest. Okay, so U just depends on what P, Q, and R are, so I'll just make it X, Y, and Z for now. And then the vector V, what I've done here is I've allowed V to be the vector t comma t plus u. So it's going to take these points and add them to these other points here, what u is, and then that will be the endpoint of each vector. So, for example, if I make this a 0, then it'll be the vectors -3, -3, -3, and then 0, -3, -3. And notice how this changed from X to 0, from the X value to 0. If I change it to like X squared, let's see what happens. See, now it's a 9. It goes from -3 to 9. Okay, and so this is the beginning, and then the end of the vector is here plus t. The reason you do not just t comma u is because you want the vector to start at t and end at u, and where u was. If I just make this t and then u, it's not really what I want. So I make it t plus u, and there we go. So so let's see here. The other thing here is this s vector, this s, allows you to change the size of the vectors. Let me change this back to x. There we go. It allows you to change the size of the vectors. So it's going to, notice its v is s times the vector. And so if I want to get a better representation of what this thing looks like, I'll make this 1 over y maybe. If you want to get a better representation, then a smaller vector in general might make it look more accessible. Okay, so that's how you do vector fields in Desmos 3D. This is one way to do it. There's several ways out there. I think this might be the simplest. So play around with it if you like.